Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show how to validate the items and sum from the summary of the file data. Meaning we have a CSV file where we have the sum and the total items, and then we have the summary of the file. And then I would like to validate like the sum and the total number of items matches with the summary of the file data or not. That is called balancing and control. So here, considering we have a file which is coming from the source application where we have the structure of this file like this CSV, where we have a header total items, total amount. The total items is 5 and the amount is 51,700. Then we have total details of the item like item, quantity, unit price, and total amount. And there we have the items, quantity, unit price of each item, and then total amount. So if you will see here, we have total 5 items, which is matching with this. And then the total amount must match with this. If this total item matches with this number and the total amount matches with this number, then only process this record. Otherwise, send a notification or move this file to a invalid folder so that you can correct this file and then reprocess it further. Let's see how this can be done in Oracle integration. This is called like balance and checking. So there are various source systems which sends similar kind of files, and you need to validate this file and then process the data further. Let's look at it, how this can be done in Oracle integration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create integration here, or I will choose the schedule integration pattern, and let's say BNC file validate file, and let's say create. So this is a schedule integration that we are creating. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the file, let's say FTP server, and let's say read file from FTP, continue. Read file as key gives the directory /home/user/aj, and then you can give the file name, which is like let me take the file name, which is my items summary.csv. The file name is items summary.csv. Click on a continue. And then you upload the CSV file. So select the CSV, click on a continue, and then upload the CSV file that I just showed you. Let me upload that. Let me drag and drop the file. All right. So here you see item summary.csv. I have uploaded here. Let's say item and item set. And here, if you scroll down, let it load. If you scroll down here, you can see total items, total amount, and then we have the whole this thing. So let's say, simply say items. Let's say quantity. I'm just changing the header. Let's say unit price. Let's say total amount. And you can say all column are optional, and make only the first is mandatory. Okay, it's one. Total items, total amount, unit price, and let's say total amount. Fine. Let make them integer, and let's say it is also an integer value. Okay, fine. And let's say continue. And let's say finish. So here, if you go back, I am also using this column header, meaning I will skip the first row and I will not read the first row. Okay, continue, finish. So before I do processing further, let me create a assign here, and let's create some variables which will hold the data. Let's say string, let's say total, or let's say invoice total, make it integer. So let's say 0 for now. Let's say total invoice amount string. Let's say total items 0. Similarly, let me create two more variables. Total INV amount 1, which will be used to sum up the entire rows value. Create one more, total items 1, and then again make this is 0. Click outside. So we have four variables: total invoice amount, total items, total invoice amount 1, total items 1. Click outside. So I have variables now. So now let me update the two variables here, total invoice amount, total items, with the second row of the file. So I will use assign again. And let's say this assignment, let's say total plus string, choose the total invoice amount, and there what I'm going to do, read file from FTP item, and let's say total amount, and there I'm going to read only the first row, so I will use 1 here. When I say 1, meaning this one, because I have already skipped it, so this is the first row, so I'm reading this. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's click on a plus again, string. Let's use total items, and again let's remove this, and from here item set item, and let's say total items. Again I will use 1 here. So in this total invoice amount, I have the total amount from the first row, and total items will have the total items from the first row. Click outside. Now, what I need to do, then I need to write this file into my stage, and only the rows which starts from here will be written, meaning I need to skip this first and second, so I need to read row from here. Okay, so let's go back, and let's say write for the stage. Let's say write item to stage, continue, write file, let's say items.csv, and directory will be items, continue, csv, continue. So what I'm going to do, I am going to create a sample file with this structure only, or let's say only take these two, and let me create one more csv file, item sample csv. So what I have done, I have also created one sample file. Okay, and I will upload this file to this stage wizard, okay, because I wanted to create the file with this structure. Go back and upload this file. Item sample. Let's say item set, okay. And there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the column options first of all. And let's say this is the mandatory. And when I am writing, I don't want to write headers. Okay, that's fine. I'm writing this and let's make all integer, and then integer. Okay. And continue. And finish. Now, there you have to write a little logic. What I'm going to do. So here, read file from FTP. Put this item here. Okay. Items. Quantity. Unit price. Total amount. So by the way, this is my items. This is my not total amount, I guess. Okay, what is happening here? Something wrong. Let me go back to my mapper. So which one? This one. Total items. Oh, this will be the quantity. My bad. Okay, that will be the quantity. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so now let me delete target node, delete this also. And there, I'm going to map this quantity and then total amount here. So here, what is going to happen? Okay, let me go back to my original file. So here you see, we have data starting from here. So I need to skip these three rows first, and then read the data from here. So this I'm already skipping. I need to skip this and this. So 1, 2. So I need to skip these two records. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a if condition here. Let's say XSLT. After for each, let's say if. And then I'm going to use the position. If position of my record is greater than 2, meaning, so this is already skipped because I'm not reading the headers on the first while reading the file, and then first 2, and then we'll record from here. First position, second position. Okay. So go back here, position 2, and then validate. Now, if you go back to this, you can see the condition here. Now you can try to test this and see how it works. So read file from stage. Let's generate some inputs here. So let me have 2 items are already there. Okay, let's suppose this is my this thing. Let me have 1. So here these two contains the BNC headers, okay, where we have total items, okay. This is then my header, and only these two should be that. And let's say item 1, for example, and item 2, and then execute. Okay, items 248 is also coming. Oh, okay. So we have 3, by the way. Okay, so condition should be 3. Because headers are not coming, correct? You see, only 2, the last one, that. So we are getting this data and we are reading only this 2, last 2. Okay, fine. Click outside. Go back with this mapper and let's say use assignment again. Let's assignment this and let's say final plus string, and there I have total invoice amount. So total invoice amount, meaning I'm going to use a function called sum. Okay, there's a function. If you see sum function is here. So I will remove this and we'll put that sum here. And then node set, which will come from this. Okay, not. First of all, what I need to do, I'll close this. I need to read the content. Okay, let's say stage again. Let's say read file from stage. Continue. Read entire file. Let's say configure file reference, yes. Write file to stage. ICS file reference. Continue. CSV. Put the same file structure here. Item sample. Let's say item set. Let's say column options. Mandatory, and I will remove this column headers. Reason, I am not writing headers to my stage. So I will remove this. And there you can give item just a meaningful name. Unit price, total amount, and make them integer. Continue. What happened? Select one or mandatory. Okay. And then finish. Now I will use that final. So under sum, so read file from stage. So here item, and there I will use this total. I will use, okay, total amount. So I will use this total amount. So it will, what happened? So I will remove this and again we'll use the function sum. We'll go back, total amount here. Okay. And click create one more. That will be total items 1. And there I will use the function count. Count node. And then input source. And then what is happening? Read file from stage. And then I will put this node item. So it will count the total nodes. So total invoice amount and total items will have the sum as well as the count of item. Click outside. Let's try to run this integration for now and see what happens. And then we'll do the further processing here. Okay. So start time. Let's test this integration at this stage and see what happens now. Okay, let's run this. Run. Run. It looks like an error here. Let's see. The form value is invalid in the assignment total. So if you see, so I am getting this, that is total items and then quantity. So okay, so this is coming in the quantity. That's fine. Why it is coming in the quantity? Let me share, because here we have changed the header name while reading the file. So I need to use quantity. That's fine. Let's go back here. So I need to use this quantity. No problem. Click this, deactivate. Okay. Problem. So here, total items. So what I need to do here, instead of using total items, what I need to do, put a quantity here, right? Quantity. And then quantity will be like 1. Okay, total items would be, okay, fine. And then I guess I also need to change this. It would be it would come from total items. Okay. Why I'm changing here? Reason, if you see reading, okay. So there I have changed the header itself, total items. So total items this. Okay. So I guess I did some mistake here again. So total items and then quantity. Quantity will hold the amount actually. Quantity will hold. Okay, I guess fine. It would be quantity, I guess. Okay. And then this will be total items. So if you see here, okay, the first total items contain the items, okay, and then quantity, this quantity contains the amount. Fine. So let's close this. So there's some confusion with this naming, but that's fine. Let's activate now. Activate. Run. Run. All right. Here you can see the integration is successful, and you can see the first thing first, assignment total. I have total invoice amount 551,700 and total items 5. Go back to this assignment final. Okay, again, total items was assigned to 4 and this 51600. There's a mismatch. Okay, I got it. So basically what I need to do, so you remember we have a position greater than 3. So I need to use position greater than 2 only in this mapper. So you will use 2, not 3. Because the first header is already skipped while reading the file. Save. Okay, let's activate. Run. Run. Okay, let this to be successful now. And then we can compare the assignment total 51700, total items 5, and final 51700 and total 5. And there you can also see the item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and then item 5. So then what we can do, let's click outside and let's process those record to the database. So what I can do here, I can compare both the variables here. Let's go and let's make a switch condition here. And in this condition, I'm checking both the variables. The total amount must be equals to this. Add one more condition, and total item must be equals to total item. If this happens, if this condition is true, then only call your database and then process the records. Insert to ATP, and let's say perform an operation on a table. Insert, continue. I have an admin schema. The table is items. Import tables. Continue. And then finish. All right. And then map the data. Items. So read file from F, not FTP, read file from stage. Item to this, item, quantity, unit price, and then total amount. If that condition will not match, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move that file into an invalid folder. So layer there, let's say FTP, move file, continue. Let's say move a file where you are going to move source directory, let's say /home/users/aj. File name I will put from there. Let's say I'm going to make an invalid directory here and then continue and then finish. And in the mapper, so move file request, the file name read file from FTP. There you will have the file name, and then target file name will remain the same. Validate. Now let's let's test this integration end to end now with both the scenarios and see what happens. Activate. So as of now, my file is valid. So let's run this. and then run. Integration should be successful. Complete successfully. If you go to your database, select all the 5 items must be there. You see, all the 5 items are there. Okay. Now, let's try one more time. Let me do one thing. Let me go back to my directory here, refresh. Let's make this file invalid. Okay. So let me open this file and let me change some values here. Item summary, view added. Let me open that file and let me change some values here. Let's say it is 6 and let's say this is, let's say 0. Okay. Now control save, go back to your this thing. Let me close the file. Okay, cool. Now let me run this integration again. And this time the file will not process and it will move to my invalid folder. Process complete successfully. Here you can see invoke move file. Okay. Message processed by invoke and it is moved successfully. Let me go back to my directory structure. And here you see invalid directory has been created and file has been moved there. So this is how you can validate your file. Now let me conclude this and let me show you what you have done as a summary. So I have created few variables here which will hold the total amounts and total items. I am reading the file that we have that is coming from the source system. You can see the structure is totally different. Okay, the total items and total amount and the totals. And then from the third row onwards, I have the items, meaning the third row has the headers. And then from fourth row onwards, we have the data. Okay. Then after that, we are reading the file. Then we have a assignment. Okay. So we have a assignment here, and then there what I'm going to do, I'm using that total invoice amount, total items variable that we have created, and then reading only the first row. When I say first row, meaning this one. Okay. And same thing I'm doing for total items also. After that, I am writing only the items, meaning only those records I am writing to the stage. So just to make this logic successful, here I made some condition, okay, in the mapper. So if you see here, item set, item, we have a if condition if the position of the item is greater than 2. Why greater than 2? Greater than 2 meaning, so this we have already skipped while reading the file from FTP as a header. And then these two rows I am skipping, first, second, and then reading data from here. All right. That is what we did in this logic. And then reading this file from the stage, and then again using those two separate variables and then making a sum of the total amount and then counting the items. And there I am comparing both the variables. If variables are matching, then insert the data, else move the file to the invalid location. So this is how you can validate the data. I hope you find this useful. Thanks for watching this. Thank you. Bye-bye.